Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to 8THIRSTY.
I'm Sam.
Yes, you are.
You're not.
I'm not. I'm Jess. Ika. With an Ika on the end.
And we're here today to do what?
To read the Bible together, because that's what we do. We're into Proverbs.
What chapter are we reading?
Proverbs chapter 24, Sam.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not much left before the Proverbs are finished. I'm so learning. We're learning more today. And I feel like I'm going to have to go back and go over and over this chapter. Sometimes there's so much in there that I just can't possibly understand.
Yeah, sometimes it has a theme kind of running most of the way through it. But sometimes it's like, okay, learn this. Now learn about this. Hey, down, please.
What do you want to learn, Glory?
Yeah, like it's talking about this and talking about that. And
Yeah.
you just are like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, where am I up to?
Yeah.
Well, and this is the layer upon layer.
Precept upon precept.
It's a continual layering effect. It's like decoupage.
I don't imagine that would be your thing.
I'm so glad you said that, because as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, I was given so much decoupage stuff.
Oh, really?
When I was younger. And I was like, why are they all old Cupid-y looking funny
Weird things. Yeah.
I'm not really into that. But
Very Victorian thing to do.
those that did do it and loved it, it's like paper dolls. I never, just give me a tree, please. Put me up in the tree where I can find some nature, some beautiful God's creation, some little insects.
Yeah.
Give me a knife, not to put to my throat like we read about in the last chapter.
No.
I like whittling, whittle away.
When I was a kid, my favourite thing to do, when I was like 9 or 10, was singing, always. Singing, making up dances. Those little girls on Sunday when they're off doing their dances.
That was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I loved
Yeah.
above most things.
That's great, Sam.
There was also a thing that I loved. I was talking to Darren about this last night, actually. Sometimes when I was a very good girl and we went to the supermarket together, my mum would get me these special secret code books.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone knows, but they were in the supermarket and they came with like an invisible ink pen. So you would solve the problems and then you get to use the invisible ink pen to see if you were right. I loved it.
Did you get right very often?
I loved doing it.
You're
And like I've said before, I thought I was a pretty smart kid.
Yeah. Well, you are good at delving into things and digging in.
I love mysteries. I love solving problems. I always have.
That's why you love studying the Bible so much.
Yeah, there's lots of mysteries to solve in there.
I mean, they've already been solved. You've just got to find.
You've got to discover for yourself.
Yeah, you're studying to show yourself approved, Samantha, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Did you say truth?
Truth. No, I said truth.
That's truth.
What was your favourite thing to do when you were 9 or 10?
9 or 10? Oh, yeah, probably whittling.
Whittling.
Finding horses when we go on
Were you allowed to play with big knives when you were 9 or 10? I wasn't.
We never had any sharp knives in our home.
What were you whittling with? The blunt wood?
No, in our home we didn't. But my dad had amazing amounts of cute little sheds everywhere that he built. And there was little special tools that you could use from there. But my sisters weren't really into that kind of thing. But I'm feeling like I'm being whittled away by this. To be carved out to be a better Jess.
Wow. Shave off the old bark of the old Jess.
Yeah.
The old man.
And it makes you... When we were at a gathering on Sunday, we were sniffing pieces of branches. Camille, Luke, and I. Not my Luke, but Camille's Luke. And just sniffing the insides of different trees that have a scent. I think a nice smelling scent comes out of us when we've been...
Oh, whittled.
Carved
That's
out
cool.
by God. You know, our proper scent comes out. Like that we're meant to...
Not playing now.
Our proper use.
Yeah.
We can
That's
be
good.
meat for the master's use. And we haven't even read verse 1
Let's read
of
it.
this chapter 24.
You go first.
Okay.
I've got to go play Frisbee.
To you.
Shortly.
Oh. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them.
For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief.
Through wisdom is an house builded, and by understanding it is established.
And by knowledge shall the chambers be filled with all precious and pleasant riches.
A wise man is strong, yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength.
For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety.
Wisdom is too high for a fool. He openeth not his mouth in the gate.
He that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person.
The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men.
If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
If thou forbear to deliver them that are drawn unto death, and those that are ready to be slain.
If thou sayest, Behold, we knew it not, doth not he that pondereth the heart consider it? And he that keepeth thy soul, doth not he know it? And shall not he render to every man according to his works?
My son, eat thou honey, because it is good, and the honeycomb which is sweet to thy taste.
So shall the knowledge of wisdom be unto thy soul. When thou hast found it, then there shall be a reward, and thy expectation shall not be cut off.
Lay not wait, O wicked man, against the dwelling of the righteous. Spoil not his resting place.
For a just man falleth 7 times, and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth.
Lest the Lord see it, and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him.
Fret not thyself because of evil men, neither be thou envious at the wicked.
For there shall be no reward to the evil man, the candle of the wicked shall be put out.
My son, fear the Lord.
Fear thou.
Thank you. My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change.
For their calamity shall rise suddenly, and who knoweth the ruin of them both?
These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment.
He that saith unto the wicked, Thou art righteous, him shall the people curse, nations shall abhor him.
But to them that rebuke him shall be delight, and a good blessing shall come upon them.
Every man shall kiss his lips that giveth a right answer.
Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house.
Be not a witness against thy neighbour without cause, and deceive not with thy lips.
Say not, I will do so to him as he hath done to me. I will render to the man according to his work.
I went by the field of the slothful, and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding.
And lo, it was all overgrown with thorns, and nettles had covered the face thereof, and the stone wall thereof was broken down.
Then I saw and considered it well. I looked upon it and received instruction.
Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep.
So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. Sometimes I'm just like, what does that even mean? That last verse is particularly obscure.
Well, it's talking about if you're going to sleep, you're not going to be able to eat.
What's
because
an armed man got to do with it?
And thy want as an armed man. Is that an armed man meaning someone that's a thief that's coming to take from someone?
Maybe.
Because what would steal...
Or a soldier?
What would help someone want to be armed to go get something? It's that want of wanting, that desire to eat, and you've got nothing.
Yeah,
we're just talking about...
Okay, maybe.
You know, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to
So
sleep.
laziness.
Yeah. Will bring poverty.
Ends in poverty. And,
Maybe.
I mean, a travelling armed man, I feel like that's a soldier, or one of those thief bands that we talked about early on in Proverbs, where they were just going out trying to attack people on the road like bushrangers.
Wow.
So they, obviously,
Could be.
they're not doing what's right.
No. It's good to be diligent. We talked about that, I think, in the last chapter.
Is that the longest verse in Proverbs? That one that I read and I was like, oh, hang on, what? It's still
Look what I
going,
did.
verse
I
12.
highlighted it because I was like, that is, like, how do you even understand That is a massive amount of, what is it? I mean, there's a lot there.
So it's saying, if we are saying, oh, we didn't know. That's not an excuse.
Because God will render to every man according to his works.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the
it's
easy
a
way
long
to get out of it.
it.
Oh.
I mean,
There's a
this
lot.
verse 12 is a long way of saying what that
Yeah.
is. Eat thou honey, because it's good, and the honeycomb, which is
loves
sweet
that
to thy
verse.
taste.
He talks about honey almost every day. Eat thou the honey because it is good. He says that to all the kids, but then when they eat all the honey and there's not much left, I was like, you told him to eat it. We all need our own hive, I think, so that we can maintain the honey.
He that tends his hive
Is
prudently.
a sweet tooth. So right at the start, we learn about an evil man or men. Don't envy them, it's saying. Now, what would an evil man look like today? Or evil men?
I imagine that they'll be rich, because evil is, evil people generally are evil to get something. They've got a desire in their heart and they're doing anything and putting aside any conscience that they might have, any thought of what's wrong and what's right to get it. Whether it's some kind of lust of their eyes, right? So whether that's wealth and riches or,
Power.
in a sexual way, lust in that way.
Yep. Don't envy them. Don't desire to be with them. So if you understand what evil means, which obviously we're learning a lot about in Proverbs, then we're actually told not to even desire to be with them.
They look good. Like, these evil men are probably like the rich men of the town who are very prosperous in their business.
Right.
They're the ones who are using the bad weights to try and gain more. They've got beautiful big houses. But through wisdom, we want to build our house. We don't want to build it on the back of, lies and evil and desire for earthly things.
Will it?
So instead of desiring to have what these evil men have, by knowledge we fill our houses.
Yes, and these are eternal things that are precious and pleasant.
Going a bit Axl Rose.
Okay. So I've got a little drawing again because, I don't have a lot of notes today, but I've just got a picture of a house. Number 1, wisdom builds the house. Number 2, understanding establishes it. Number 3, knowledge fills with pleasant and precious
Nice.
things. So if you imagine a new opportunity called Not the Block, it's not the show on TV called The Block. It's called, what's it called? Give it a new name.
The House of Wisdom.
The House of Wisdom. Or God's Block.
Okay.
New kid on God's block, right? How do you build your house? You got to, step 1, you have to have wisdom. You got to know what it is. Step 2, you need to understand it. That's what is going to establish the build. Number 3, the knowledge. So you got the wisdom, you've got the understanding, and you've got the knowledge. Fills it with pleasant and precious things.
Beautiful.
That's what's going to decorate your home.
Beautiful.
Winning.
Beautiful.
You win. God's new kid on the block.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a cool house.
It would be a cool house. It's a house that's going to stand unwavering. How about verse 16?
Yes. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. What does it remind you of?
Tough Mudder.
Oh, yes. Have you done that?
Do I look like I've done it?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Oh.
I would like to do it. I actually think it'd be great fun to do.
I look like someone who said I wanted to do it and then didn't.
Well, you're telling these people that you want to do it, so we're in. This is your new team. Team Mother. The mothers.
What it reminds me of is how many times should you forgive a man?
Oh, yeah.
7 times 7? 70 times 7?
Yeah. It's
a
just
lot.
An ongoing
That's
thing.
how much.
Yeah.
And that's how many times you can fall.
Yeah.
And
you're
a just man.
Yeah.
You will fall. You get straight back up. We know of all the men who were just and fell in the Bible.
That's right.
David, Solomon.
Yeah.
It's such a cool reminder that we're all
about
just
Peter?
human people. All the people fell.
Yeah, Peter, he fell in front of Jesus so many times.
Yeah.
Jesus gives him, oh, well done. This is amazing, Peter, what you've said. Are not your words, but the words of God. And then straight after that, puts his foot in his mouth. So he falls, then he gets up again. Then he falls. And then he gets up again.
I get knocked down.
No.
Why?
Not that song.
You
That's
can
about
get up
drinking.
again. Is it?
Yes, it's a drinking song.
Is it?
That's what I was told. I didn't know. I didn't sing that song.
You're right. It is now that I think about it in my brain.
I'm just thinking of a Jack in the Box. You go
I
down,
don't get knocked down.
but you come up again, and it's happier when you're up, right? You know when you're turning the handle, and then Glory pops up.
Pop.
Pop
She
goes
didn't
the
pop
border
up.
collie. But that's the fun bit when you're up. And it's okay to come down sometimes as long as you remain eyes in the right spot.
Yeah.
But the wicked shall fall into mischief. So they're staying down there.
But don't rejoice when they fall down.
No.
Don't be glad when they stumble.
No.
Because this is unusual though. So the reason that we don't rejoice and be glad when we see our enemy stumble is because the Lord might see us rejoicing over the fall of our enemy.
Yeah.
And then the Lord won't punish him.
But he will.
Well, that's what it's saying.
And he
The
turn
Lord-
away his wrath from him for that moment.
So you know that
Because this is written in the time of Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is before the grace of God.
you know that thing when you if you get your rewards on earth, you won't get them in heaven. Mm-hmm. So that's the opposite of that. If you get your punishment on earth, you might not get it in heaven. So, don't let your right hand know what your left hand's doing.
Yeah.
Because if someone rewards you, if someone sees that you're fasting or giving to the poor or whatever it might be,
The appearance of it.
then it won't be, you won't get your reward for that in heaven.
Well, it's reminding us not to focus on what someone else is doing, but keep our eyes on God. It says, fret not thyself because of evil men. So don't be fearful of them. Don't laugh at when they're falling. And don't be envious of them.
We're not here to dish out punishment.
No. Although back then they were. God would command, for instance, David, go and destroy these people.
Yeah.
And that was men, women, and children. That's full on. But only if he asked
Yeah.
them to do it. Don't do things of your own accord because you think it's a good idea.
And there's no reward to the evil man. It doesn't matter what the evil man is doing and gaining in this world.
Yeah. There's a cost to it.
Yeah. It's the eternal gains that are
Yeah.
for us to think about.
Yeah.
What about verse 23? These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment.
Yes.
What do you say about it?
I say that must be true because God said. Well, you were not meant to have a respect of persons anyway, but if you were given an opportunity to have to make a decision about someone's situation, you don't change the judgment because of the person that you're dealing with.
Oh, whoops, that's the president. I better just diminish my punishment or not give them a fine because
Yeah.
it's a famous person.
I've got a good example of this. So we love, as a family, basketball, and our whole family at times have been playing at Gympie Basketball Association. Great club and beautiful families there, incredible. There's quite a few there that love the Lord and a lot that we're talking to about Jesus, which is exciting. And when it comes to reffing, there's certain times where certain refs won't call certain things on certain players because they're respecting the person.
Okay,
They're
right.
Like, I'll just not look at that the way I should because I know that person and, I'm buddies with him. Or,
Great example.
that is the coach of my brother's team and
Yep.
I don't want to get on the bad books with them. So you change your role because of respecting a person. So your judgment as a ref is not as sound.
It's not cool.
And I don't know, sometimes it's easier on the outside looking in. If you're sitting on the sidelines and you see it in plain sight, you're like, hang on, what about that? It's not my role because I'm not the ref.
Yeah.
I don't need to get worried about it. It's not my position. But it's interesting when it happens like that because you can see, hang on. Oh, I saw that wink of the eye there. Okay.
Oh.
And we all do it to some degree,
Do we
Well, we've got to be careful. We've got to be careful that we don't. We have to be really good stewards of wisdom and how to operate. And you know what? If I knew that if I said something to you, let's just pretend you're a fool, right? You're not. And I said something to you and I'm like, how's she going to react? Like, maybe she'll lose her headband over that. I think we need to be constant, you know, and sometimes you also need to think, is this the right time or is my silence actually the best way to not do something here, but you are doing something. Sometimes your quietness, even with your dog, right? Sometimes when you just look at them, they're like, oh no, I did something wrong.
Yeah.
You don't even have to say anything. That happens to me sometimes.
Yeah.
Give me the silent treatment, Sam.
Me?
No.
Wow.
Well, you can.
Do I?
Well, sometimes in a conversation, there will be moments where we disappoint each other, and a silent thing is probably.
Yeah, and probably that's probably my go-to, like, because sometimes you have to be thinking about what is the outcome I want from this. Is the person receptive? Like that incident with the man and the dog.
Oh, from
a couple of days ago.
Chapter or something. Yeah.
What's the outcome that I want, and what impact can I really have? Is it going to be better or fruitful to say anything at all?
Yes.
Or just to either go away and think about what I want to say properly myself, or to just not ever say anything
and just pray for them.
Truth.
Yeah.
But I did want to say, off the back of that basketball example, verse 29 is kind of the other side of that. Say not, I will do so to him as he hath done to me. I'll render to the man according to his work. Because sometimes you might think, well, that ref always pulls me up when I'm playing. So I'm just going to get him back now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that all the time.
The stadium.
And he deserves that because he's done it to me and I've seen him do it to other people. It would be easy to have that attitude. That's not a right attitude because say not, I will do to him as he's done to me.
And this is walking after the spirit instead of walking after the flesh, which is a continual training that we're always going to struggle with. Is this of the flesh? Is this of the spirit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be all for Proverbs 24.
Let's not do a little folding of the hands, a little slumbering, a little more sleep. If you need sleep, God obviously requires you to rest. Because if you don't have good rest, how can you have a sound and sober mind? Sober?
Yeah. You didn't have enough sleep last night, did you?
We have, yet again, another mummy dog that's about to have some babies. And that's beautiful. I could hear her nesting all night.
Oh.
And part of you goes, is it tonight? Should I stay a little bit awake? And then for some reason, you just can't go back to sleep.
Yeah. It's an expectation that's happening. I had a great sleep last night, though.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, my gosh. I fell asleep and I didn't wake up all night long, which doesn't happen very often.
This is great
so I think I had 9 hours of sleep.
That's great, Sam.
So that's the first time in maybe a month.
What?
So praise God for that.
Praise God for that. We do need that. And you are working very hard, Sam, and I just want to publicly say, well done.
Don't do it in public, then I won't get my heaven rewards.
Yes, you will. You're applying yourself very well. You're a good steward, Sam.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I've told the Craft Cottage ladies that I will only be doing 6 more times.
That's like a year and a half of
3
beautiful
months.
volunteering.
3 months. Oh, well, 3 months more.
3 months more than a year.
No, it's just 3 months more starting now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you've been doing it for...
I've been doing it for a long time.
So a big shout out to Tyro Craft Cottage, the Golden Girls. They just remind me so much of the Golden Girls.
They're cute.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be sad,
Yeah.
but happy.
Yeah.
New season.
Everything for a season.
Yes.
Maybe it's your turn to go there.
No. Sorry. I've got other things to do. I want
You
to
know it
spend
was your idea, right?
I know. I have lots of ideas, though. It doesn't mean that they're...
Ideas person. You should come with a T-shirt warning that says, beware, ideas happening continually.
Yeah, and they might be for you. Watch out. If you don't want me to give you an idea, run. Run to the hills.
Yeah.
I think the blessing is that when we all work together with our gifts and talents, we can all be a special body, which is what
true.
God wants.
That's true.
Because I can't do all my ideas.
Yeah. You're like the hand and I'm like the ball that you throw. And it's a great gift, Jess. Jess has a great gift of ideas and enthusiasm, like unprecedented.
You're so funny, Sam. I'm the hand or the arm and you're the ball.
Oh. Yep.
Great. Wow.
We could write a song about that. Maybe there's one already in Psalms.
Maybe there is. And we only have, let's count. What are we
31 minus 24?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. 7 more Proverbs before we hit Psalms. Running, singing, dancing.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Hang on.
What?
25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
No, 6.
Okay.
25,
Oh, yeah,
26,
'cause we've
27,
just-
28, 29, 30. No, 7. Oh my gosh. Yep, great.
You've had more sleep than me. You win.
I've never been good at maths.
But we're good at Proverbs. Thanks for joining us for Proverbs, guys. Stick with it.
Oh, maybe we're going to do a live coming up.
Okay.
Let us know, please, what time will suit you.
Ooh.
Because
okay.
we want you to be able to join us.
Yeah,
Say
it would
hi.
be
We wanna
great.
just meet you more than anything.
Don't be shy.
Not more than everything. More than a lot of things.
Yeah, we would love to have at least one person from Australia and one person from overseas.
Yeah, that's not hard.
And that's not hard. Why not grab a couple of girlfriends, work out a time that suits for all of you,
Put
and
on a
tell
cup
us.
of tea and get 8THIRSTY.
Yeah. That would really be a blessing, not just to us, but the Lord, because he loves it when we read the word together.
And to your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.